All right. Welcome back to Action Jack-0ffs, the show where we talk about the very best and favorite action movies of all time. This week, month, we are talking about Escape from New York. John Carpenter's Escape from New York, starring Kurt Russell in the starring role. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to you since I know you're a big John Carpenter fan. So I'll let you kind of take it from here.
I'm just glad that we're talking about him.
Yeah, finally.
I wasn't, well, I just didn't think that this was a guy that was going to come up. I hadn't really seen Escape from New York until recently, but I've always just liked the John Carpenter movies. And this last Halloween, I went through and I was watching a bunch of them, and I was like, might as well throw it on, because it's really like this Escape from LA, and then like Big Trouble in Little China, and maybe They Live are like his action-y movies.
Oh, you say that now. We should have done They Live.
Uh,
It's a way better movie.
no.
It's a
They
way
Live
better
is corny
movie.
as fuck. This one's corny in a good way.
I don't even think that's true. I think that's
Well, in this one, they weren't doing it on purpose. It was just that it was cheap, and it was the 80s. And They Live, they knew better.
well. They Live was what, 87?
Yeah, but it's after the whole action hero boom had started. This is kind of like the precursor almost.
This is the precursor. Okay, so
Rocky had been out, but that's not the action movies that we're talking about.
no, I mean, okay, the movies that were out by this point, I'm thinking of movies like Mad Max 2, Mad Max Road Warrior, and Indiana Jones and I mean, Star Wars 1 and 2, or not 1 and 2, but you know what I mean. Um, New Hope and Empire Strikes Back were out by now, and Raiders of the Lost Ark was out. So there was a blueprint for like innovative action movies, and I think Carpenter kind of came along and he was like, "I've got this idea for a movie, and I don't want it to be like a traditional action movie, but it's going to become the type of action movie that inspires all these other action movies in the 80s."
Which is really interesting. And it's got a lot of sci-fi, and there's even like parts that I think are genuinely scary still.
Really?
Like I thought when all of the people come out of the sewers and stuff, I was not expecting it to be weird. Like I was like, oh, Escape from New York, there's probably like a lot of fighting, a lot of shooting and stuff, and there is that, but a lot less than you think. It's a lot more like sci-fi, weird, noir-y stuff. So like when the people start coming out of the manhole covers, and they're grabbing that girl from like through the floorboards and stuff, I was like, this is kind of freaky. This is not
Yeah.
what I was expecting.
Yeah, it definitely does have an interesting tone to it. On the one hand, you've got your main character's name is Snake Plissken. So already you're like already you're like, okay, this is your generic action movie. Not a generic setting. It's a very interesting setting. I feel like that setting is what kind of sets it apart from other movies. The idea that New York is this giant, Manhattan is this giant um, prison island, and you have to go there and you have to rescue the fucking president, played by
Who's
Donald,
British?
who's British, played by Donald Pleasance, of other John Carpenter fame. He was the Doctor Loomis in Halloween. Um, just what an interesting idea for a movie. What for a premise? Like your premise is take your uber badass and throw him into this crazy science fictiony New York setting, and I don't know what the production on this movie was. I should have looked into that before we started, but I know that this movie
They
was not
filmed in St. Louis.
filmed in St. Louis.
I think it
It
was really cheap, is why
Yeah,
they did.
budget of $6 million, made its money back and then some. Um, Heavily inspired by it's funny because it's a 1981 film. It was heavily inspired by 1970s action movies like Death Wish,
Yeah.
which kind of like paved the way for.
Like it feels
Um,
greasier.
it feels greasier, feels grimy. It feels like it went into the direction that those films always kind of hint at. You know, like it's a grindhouse kind of movie, but without the what's the right word I'm trying to articulate? Without the nastiness of those kind of movies. Like it's nasty.
Yeah, it doesn't fully cross the line anywhere really.
I think the sci-fi element of it is what kind of helps uh, pull it back.
What if I can't find them?
Yeah, then you're fucked.
I also didn't know that he was gonna have bombs in his blood.
Yeah, that I also feel like is a kind of like a innovative idea that was introduced here. Like I can't think of many, like the whole. It kind of gives off Suicide Squad vibes.
Yeah, that was what I thought of. Or there's like a weird Nicolas Cage movie that's like something in Samurai Town, where that's also. I think it's more of like he's wearing an outfit that has bombs on it. But I was like, oh, I see. I've seen things rip this off before.
Yeah, and then excuse me, and then the name Snake comes to mind as this
Pretty
like
cool.
it's a really influential name. Like just like his name is Snake. You
Yeah, I
know,
feel like Metal Gear Solid rips it off.
Metal Gear Solid rips it off. I feel like that one Sylvester Stallone movie, Cobra, rips it off as well.
He's
Because
just like, what's it cool? You,
what's,
you know what
what's
really
better than
ripped it off?
Snake? Cobra.
You know who really ripped it off?
Who really ripped it off?
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
He's probably actually predates it.
He probably does. I actually kind of want to look that up. Does Jake the Snake
He might.
Roberts predate Snake Plissken? I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
I mean, he could have been up in the 70s. I'm not sure.
Let's find out. Jake the Snake Roberts. Go to his Wikipedia page. Because that's where everybody gets all their information. Let's see
It's the
here.
best way.
Jake the Snake Roberts. His debut was 1975.
So he, if anything, Snake Plissken owes him a lot of money.
Yeah, there we go. John Carpenter. I see where you're getting your information here. Now, let's see here. When did you first watch Escape from New York, and what was your initial reaction?
Uh, like 2 weeks ago, and then I watched it again to record this podcast to be ready. Uh, it's pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. I just like John Carpenter style, his pizzazz, his effectiveness, his different horror elements that he likes to throw into everything, even though he detests horror. But that's what he's the best at, which is so funny.
Which is
It's like
hilarious.
I just want to make westerns. Meanwhile, he's like The Thing, Christine, Halloween, The Fog.
No
God, I
Snake
love The
Plissken.
Fog. I
also
love the.
produced also produced by Deborah Hill.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's the main producer on a lot of the early ones.
on a lot of their, including this one.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah
Halloween
Hill,
too.
who we've talked about on the podcast before, she would go on to not only do some John Carpenter stuff, she would also go on to do The Terminator. As part of her Deborah Hill production company, she was one of the main minds behind The Terminator, alongside James Cameron. She, of course, would come back to do Escape from L.A. and she was involved with the Halloween movies, a lot of John Carpenter stuff. Even when he left the Halloween series, she was still a part of the production. So yeah, she was she's a big deal part of the production company.
Incredible. Love it a lot. Now we need to talk about that Romero guy because he's freaky.
Go ahead.
He just fucking. Did you expect a Dragon Ball Z character that looks like a ghost?
Hold on,
He looks like
I want to correct
he
myself
looks like.
real quick. I think I got my Deborah Hills mixed up
Oh my goodness, this guy.
because I said was involved with Terminator.
This guy.
It says here Hill was noted for
Jacob.
supporting emerging talent in the film industry, and a number of Hill's associates went on to later success in film. For example, James Cameron, the filmmaker, once worked for Hill in the visual effects department. So I think it's one of those things where Deborah Hill, I guess, was a creative mind that helped James Cameron come up with Terminator, but she was not directly involved in the making of Terminator.
This guy just spreading false info.
At least I corrected myself. Fuck me, I guess.
Anyway, so Romero.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Fucking freak, dude.
I'm sorry.
Freaky.
This is Romero, um, Frank Doubleday as Romero.
Hold on. Now I have to look because I was just talking about the character. Yes, this freaky guy. Yeah,
I
he's
want.
got like this the saber teeth and the Dragon Ball Z character hair. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. He was the weirdo that he when fuck me when Lee Van Cleef as police commissioner showed up initially to find the president. He was the guy that showed up and was like, if you kill me, if
They'll
anything happens
get
to
you.
me, they'll kill the president.
Now here's his finger.
Yeah, took me a second to remember. It's my problem with this movie. I don't have a problem with it in general. I just cannot, for the life of me, remember anything about this movie. I've seen the movie twice now, and for some reason, I just have the hardest time remembering any of the characters in the movie. And by the time we get to the halfway point, I am just like barely able to keep up with the plot points. And I know that sounds weird because I just rewatched the movie.
It's also the simplest movie ever.
It's literally the
There's almost no plot.
the most fucking nothing burger movie you could think of. And I
I
think
just think it's so much fun.
what it is that throws me off is the character Brain and the character Maggie. They kind of just like come into the movie and they kind of halt everything. They just bring a fucking screeching halt to everything. And we're kind of worrying about whatever they got going on, whatever their shit is. Whereas we've got Snake, we've got the president, we've got all the little fucking minions and shit. We got Lee Van Cleef, and then we got Isaac Hayes as the Duke. And I feel like the Duke should just be our main bad guy. He is the main bad guy, but he should just be the sole focus. Snake should not have Brain and Big Titty Maggie to help him along.
Well, that was our boy John Carpenter's wife at the time, so he had to be in there, you know? Or future wife. I forget how the timeline worked out.
Adrienne Bordeaux. She was, let's see here, Cran Province in the 1970s. She began appearing in horror science fiction films, including The Fog. She was also in Swamp Thing. If you remember
She's
that.
actually really good in The Fog. She's the radio host lady.
Yeah. Um,
I think they're important to have in the film because Snake cannot carry the dialogue of the film with his ridiculous like, "Oh, I'm Snake Plissken's. You all thought I was dead." Like you can't do that the whole movie, so you need Brain and Maggie to kind of be there to like fill in all the gaps and stuff. Like just do all of the dialogue, and then to eventually die because the whole point is that it's just him and the president getting out,
yeah. Like
and
there was no
then
chance of them even getting out anyway. So it's like, what the fuck are you guys there for?
just to move the plot along. Somebody for Snake to feel obligated to save and not be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I
Pretty great.
guess. I guess.
I also think it's pretty interesting that every character that's like Snake thought you were dead ends up dying.
Yeah, like I also think that's really interesting. Like, what the fuck? Like, what did Snake do to gain his notoriety? To where criminals that have probably been in Manhattan for years have some idea of who he is. Like, they have no connection to the outside world. So that means that people that know who Snake Plissken is know him from way back in the day, know him from some fucked up shit he's done or some cool ass shit he's done, and we have no idea what that shit is. It's just, hey, I'm badass. I'm Snake Plissken. What's the deal?
Well, it was also back when when you could just do that and we'd make up our own stuff. We'd be like, ah, you know what I think it was?
And then you come up with some crazy shit.
It's some crazy shit because then there is some references like whenever the police or military guy is interrogating him or telling him he's going to go on the mission, where he's just talking about like this weird Russian war that happened,
Yeah.
and he's just like, oh, so Snake was in some cool stuff. But then it also seems like he went AWOL or something and did some criminal activity,
Yeah.
robbed some banks or something.
Some shit. Do
Some
you
cool stuff. Some cool guy with eye patches, you know?
I just love the fact that he has an eye badge. It's so
And
funny.
and then it's funny because Kurt Russell was apparently I was listening to a thing where he was just like, I think he should wear an eye patch, and John Carpenter was like, sure,
Sure, bud.
sounds good.
Whatever you say. That's funny. Because I don't know, that just for some reason that reminds me of like how like a lot of directors will just be like, "Are you the writer? Do you did you write the script? Do you have any idea what's going on here? No? Just get back to fuck
the most
I don't tell you how to
one of
act.
the most
Get back to fucking acting."
one of the most famous ones that I like to think about is in the No Country for Old Men. There's a scene where Josh Brolin looks into the briefcase or the duffel bag or whatever that has all the money in it.
Yeah.
And whenever they were filming that scene, he asked the Coen brothers, "Hey, shouldn't he like say something? Shouldn't he like make a noise?" And they're just like, "Yeah, just do whatever you think." And so he just goes like, whenever in the movie, whenever he looks in the briefcase, he just kind of goes, "Hmm."
Hmm.
And apparently, they used that take, and every time that they were at any of the premieres, he could hear them laughing whenever he did the "Hmm."
Well, I remember that story that Arnold Schwarzenegger would tell whenever somebody asks him about the "I'll be back" line in Terminator, and he always goes, "I didn't want the word, I didn't want the line to be 'I'll be back.' He goes, I want it to be 'I will be back,' because he's a German speaker, and L's like the L was what was really tripping him up in the 'I'll be back.' So he asked James
That's
Cameron. He was like, "Can I do 'I will be back'?" And James Cameron said, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you the writer?"
which is so good.
he was like, he was like, "How about this? Instead of doing your idea, let's do 10 takes of 'I'll be back,' and you get to pick which one you think is the best." And that's what happened.
Which
that's
is just so good.
that's awesome. Do you
Hey, that's why you
remember
say A1 Duke, you know?
exactly? Do you remember what drew you to the film? Its concept, John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, or something else? I know you just previously said that you were on a John Carpenter kick, so I assume John Carpenter was like the thing for you that kind of drew you into the movie.
Oh, he's always the thing, you know?
Yeah, the,
Carpenter's the
the
thing.
thing,
Um, the thing. Uh,
starring Kurt
but
Russell.
but it was the Kurt Russell of it, the John Carpenter of it. I'd always seen the cover. I had never watched it. I didn't really care for Big Trouble in Little China that much, and I thought it was going to be more similar to that.
Okay,
But I very much thought that the themes and the violence and everything was really interesting. I also thought it was weird that they don't really fight that much.
right. There's
Like
only
there's
like a handful of little action scenes where somebody fights
mhm, it's more about like atmosphere than it is anything about like like that. There's like some stunts. There's like we don't even see the plane crash that much.
Nope.
Like you can see where they're cutting around the corners, but I think it's like I just love the John Carpenter like synth music where they're just going around corners being like like I just think it's so much fun.
Right. I really enjoyed Kurt Russell. I like Kurt Russell. Big Kurt Russell fan. Big Trouble in Little China, Breakdown, Backdraft. Uh,
Backdraft.
I fucking love Kurt Russell, man. I fucking love that
That's so Backdraft is such a funny pull.
guy. See, I thought Breakdown would be the funny pull, like because
Well, that one's a little out there, but I just think that Backdraft is such a funny movie.
yeah, yeah, the Thing, obviously. We could just name all the Kurt Russell, John
You ever
Carpenter
seen Miracle?
movies. Is that the one with the hockey team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces. I don't remember it
Oh,
much.
it's a Disney movie. It's a based on a true story hockey movie, but that is a great Kurt Russell being a coach performance.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it now. It's
We
on,
gotta watch it.
if it's
There's
by
there's an
Disney,
awesome
I'll watch it on Disney Plus.
it's on there. There's a really, really amazing scene where he makes them all just do like suicide sprints on the ice,
Yeah,
and they're all like throwing up and stuff, and he's like trying to get them to say a certain thing, but none of them are getting it.
yeah.
And you just have to watch it. It's really good.
And that's also based on the real life hockey team, the U.S. Olympics team that
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that in reality was juiced to the fucking gills on
Oh yeah.
steroids. They were
Oh yeah.
fucking juiced to the gills. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
The real life story is fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, buddy. But that's why the movie is just like a little feel good. But what's also funny is it's only about us beating Russia. It doesn't have the next match where they beat Switzerland or whoever to actually win the gold medal.
Right. Because at the time, it was all about beating those fucking communists.
Oh yeah, because we had to show them that America meant business on the ice.
Yeah. Um, real quick, how would you describe the film to someone who's never seen it?
I think you just tell them the log line. You just go, all right. In the future, Manhattan's a prison. Some people hijacked a plane. President's crash lands there. We sent a criminal to go save them.
There you go.
You just hit them with. It's one of the best like 1 2 sentence crazy ass movie that you can't really explain that well without just giving away the premise.
I agree. I mean, that's
I
about as
mean, you
far
got
as
to
I would
tell them
take it.
it's all
Yeah,
about vibes, dude.
it's all about the vibes. And this film does have a specific vibe that I really like. So that works out. What stands out to you about the film's depiction of a dystopian 1997 New York?
They weren't too far off, you know what I'm saying?
Is it the fact that it's a 1997 New York, or that in 1996 they released Escape from LA to
It's funny that they were 1 year off.
they were 1 year off, and it's like it's a 15-year sequel, and I just keep thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like the perception of what the future looked like to people in the 70s and 80s was always 1990 something, 2000
2010,
something,
2015.
2015, 2020X, or whatever the fucking shit is. And it was always in
Jason
the
X.
yeah, in the future, 30 years from now, everything's just gonna go to fucking shit. And they were
It
so,
is.
I mean,
A
it
little bit slow.
is. It's just different. It's a different type
Yeah.
of shit. And we don't have prison islands. Manhattan's not a prison island
Yeah.
yet. We don't have
Give them
self-tying
time. Let them
laces.
cook.
There's no
We have
hoverboards.
we have self-driving cars for now.
For now, they don't fly. Nothing
No.
flies.
Can you imagine how terrible it would be if cars could fly?
Yeah, they actually. Okay, it's kind of a tangent. They did. There was an article many years back where they actually stated that we have the technology to make cars fly, but the logistics of it is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, because they already got all these planes in the air. Then what would
Planes,
happen? What would a
helicopters,
midair what would a midair car crash do?
fucking kill multiple people. It would
And
kill.
so much property
It would
damage and
kill.
buildings,
It would just fucking
collateral.
destroy everything. It wouldn't even make any sense to do it. The only way you could make flying cars make sense is by having it to where it's a self-driving car on like a planned aerospace road where the car you have no freedom to actually maneuver the car outside of a designated airspace, and the car just kind of zooms in that direction, and that's it. Like you just put like you know how like Korea has like those fucking flying drones that kind of do light shows in the airs based on like specific program movements. That's what fucking cars would have to do if they were going to be flying. But there's no
And then
flying
imagine
cars.
a signal or something.
Exactly. There's no flying cars escaping New York, so we don't really have to worry about it.
No, but there's crashing planes.
There are crashing planes.
And what's hilarious is we only see like the one matte painting or exterior shot of New York, and then everything else, there's no like discerning New York features about any of the dystopia.
Yeah, I
Like
think
there's no
I
like on
think
the cover, there's the Statue of Liberty. There's no like Statue of Liberty scene in the
no.
movie.
The only thing that comes close is the World Trade Center being a focal point of the movie because
Well,
it's
that's what I mean. There's like the one shot, like exterior, like this is New York. But once we actually are inside New York, they're not like walking through, Times Square or anything.
yeah, no.
That's what like there's no like, oh look how far we've fallen. It's all just kind of like back alleyways and a train
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, I mean,
They're not like the Grand Central Station or anything. They're just like this is a train.
no, but for what they were able to accomplish on the limited budget they had is pretty impressive, all things considered. Like,
It definitely looks like a crashed out city.
definitely looks like a fucking meth house, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but I appreciate, like I said earlier, I appreciate the look of the film. The look of the film, I think, is appropriate. But I do agree with you. Whenever there's a movie that takes place in New York, or there's like a very heavily New York vibe to it, and it doesn't feature New York staples, I do kind of think to myself, I'm like, man, this bitch was filmed in Canada.
Exactly. Yeah, this is Toronto.
This is fucking Toronto, or this is
This is
St.
Atlanta.
Louis. This is Atlanta. This is bullshit.
This is
You know,
bullshit.
and so many movies do that. Jason Takes Manhattan is like the first one that comes to my mind. I know
That's why.
that's two
Yeah,
Friday the 13th references.
that's funny.
That's a fucking sign if I've ever seen one.
That's why you gotta respect M. Night Shyamalan because he's like, this is Philadelphia. And then guess what? It's actually Philadelphia.
True.
He's all about it.
They'll be like, this is signs. This is a cornfield. This is a real cornfield.
Hey, I built this cornfield just like Christopher Nolan.
I planted these seeds.
I tilled this.
I spent hours tilling this land.
You see those stalks? I grew them myself.
I fucking grew 'em. What a fucking quack. Love
Dude,
it.
you know what? That wasn't a prop. That was a real alien.
That's a
That's what M. Night does.
real authentic. That is what we're shooting for here, people.
So funny. I
Have you?
also really, really love the last like 20 to 15 minutes of this movie. I'm like,
Oh, the car
this is
chase.
how we should end.
Hmm.
Like everybody, all of the B, C characters just die. We execute like the unthinkable character ends up killing the big bad. You go, A1 new cat. It's just so funny. Uh, And then as we think everything's wrapped up and Snake kind of got the raw end of the deal, he got the last laugh. He's smoking the cigarette, listening to the show tunes from the cab.
Yeah, yeah. I tune out when I like right after he kills that big guy in the ring. I tune I tune
There's
out.
so much more movie.
I I I tune out right up until the car chase,
That's so funny.
and I lose. They lost me a little bit. Like when he gets captured in the train yard, I get lost a little bit. Where I'm kind of just like in and out, in and out.
You know,
I
it's the one thing that I didn't notice until the second time I watched it
what's that?
is that the cabbie trades Romero his hat for the tape because he doesn't know that the tape's important.
Right.
and
That was a good
I
time.
just didn't catch that the first time.
I didn't catch that at all. Fuck me.
My man's just drinking and not paying attention.
Yeah, fuck it. What do I give a
Fuck
shit?
it. Hell yeah, brother.
How do you think the film reflects the social or political anxieties? Fuck that question. I don't like that question. Fuck that
Did you
shit.
just type these into AI?
Yeah, I did.
That's so
These aren't
funny.
my questions. I said I typed in this chat GPT. What are some good questions to ask about Escape from New York in a podcast format? And this is the bullshit it
That's
gave me. So I have to remind myself to read the question before I fucking ask it.
this guy.
What do you think about John Carpenter's direction and world building here compared to his other films? Like, if I were to say, okay, here's another 1980s classic, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, The Thing. You know,
I think John Carpenter's really good at not necessarily world building. This and Big Trouble in Little China are probably the best examples of where he well, I think Ghosts of Mars also.
I was about to say, you want to talk about some Ghost of Mars or vampires?
What are you talking about? Vampires sucks.
Fuck you, buddy. It's got James.
I hate
It's
vampires
got
so bad.
James Hardwood.
James Woods.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny? Exactly how you've been talking about zoning out. That's how vampires does to me.
Oh my God. We're
Dude,
forgetting the greatest John Carpenter movie ever made.
is what?
They Live.
I mean, it's pretty good. I like this one better.
Like just in talking about it, just in comparison of world building, right? We have to
Oh yeah,
build
yeah.
a world where it's
I thought you were just
believable
backtracking.
that aliens. No, because like with elements like the Thing, elements like Halloween, elements like the Fog, it's basically the world building isn't really world building. It's just our world with this fantastical or spooky as fuck element thrown in there. Psycho killer, alien from another world, or spooky fucking ghosts and shit. They
Yeah.
Live is like, hey, let's take these aliens from another world and integrate them into our society and showcase how our society is completely and utterly altered by these alien beings.
Yeah, I think in the most successful versions of John Carpenter's movies is whenever he's like, here's reality, and now here's it getting turned on its head.
Correct.
He's like, here's They Live where there's all these things, but now let's uncork the bottle and see what's really under here.
So how do you think that applies to Escape from New York, though?
Well, that's what I was saying. I think there's like this one and the thing and stuff where he's like, this is a little bit more out there, and I'm gonna have to you're gonna have to bear with me on this one. But this is like more of an example of him trying to world build instead of just make atmospheres or turn reality on its head.
Yeah, because he's genuinely building a society that somehow got to this point.
Would you be one of the mole people?
I probably would be. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You'd be one of the underground mole people. Would you be the one knocking on the manhole covers?
Oh yeah, letting everybody know it's time to get out. You know,
It's time to wakey wakey. Let's eat some
yeah,
trashy trashy.
time
Do
to
my
get
gaba, do my gaba.
time to get out and get loud.
Get loud and proud. Oh, that's
Okay,
so funny.
so we already talked about that movie shot mostly in St. Louis. So kind of um, affected the film's atmosphere by not having a lot of the established New York landscapes. Um, Snake Plissken has become an iconic anti-hero. Why do you think he resonated so strongly with audiences? Is it the fact that he's very anti-authority? Is it the fact that his name is Snake? Is it the fact that it's Kurt Russell? Or is it the fact that he's a guy doing is it the fact that he's a bad guy doing the right thing? What is
You
it?
ever thought that it's the fact that he doesn't have sleeves?
And it's potentially cold as fuck in New York.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I think it's just because he's a bad mamma jamma. He lights matches. He smokes cigarettes. He's got an eye patch.
Yeah.
Shoots
He
people.
he does that cool thing in his introduction scene where he like lights a match on the desk.
So, I
The,
mean, I would respect it if somebody did that.
if somebody looked at me, if somebody who looked just like Kurt Russell, wearing an eye patch, lit their cigarette like that, and they asked me to call them Snake, I'm sucking his dick. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's so funny. I also like that at the end of the movie, he's like, "Hey, I know you just got used to calling me Snake. It's Pliskin,
It's
buddy.
Pliskin now. Suck on those nuts, bitch.
Now listen to the song while I smoke this cigarette and walk away."
Exactly. I just fucked everybody's shit up. We're
And
all
now they
gonna
can go to
die.
war.
Yeah. The world is gonna collapse because of my decision to be petty
And guess what? All those people in the prison, the world's gonna be like that forever.
forever. Wait 15 more years, we'll get to escape from LA. I'll
I
do it
still
all
have
over again.
That's next.
Oh, you
Gotta
haven't
gotta
you
catch
haven't you
all
haven't
the
seen it yet?
part. No, I still haven't watched it.
I haven't either. I honestly I have no intention to.
That's funny.
I've
I'm
heard
gonna
it's
have to do
dog
it.
shit.
Complete all the John Carpenters.
Yeah. Well, you got to do it for your master set that you got going on, so that makes sense.
Exactly. I'm just gonna have to do it, even if it's bad. It'll just be for the one time, just like
Yeah.
vampires.
Yeah. What do you make of Kurt Russell's performance, especially since it was a major departure from his earlier roles?
Yeah, because he's trying to still break out of the kiddie I was on Disney stuff,
Yeah.
which is why I think that him and John Carpenter did all of their stuff together. But him and John Carpenter is like peanut butter and jelly, buddy.
Yeah.
You gonna watch The Thing too?
The Thing 2?
The Thing Part 2, directed by John Carpenter, comes out soon.
No way.
Yeah, look it up.
I don't want to.
You're gonna have to.
I believe you. I believe you wholeheartedly. I don't think you'd ever lie to me.
Well, here, let me look it up because it could have just been a fake thing.
I was gonna say because I'm looking up Kurt Russell stuff.
Thing Part 2. It's just unofficial bullshit.
So it's not real.
They got me.
They got your dumb ass.
They got my dumbass.
It happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. No shame. No shame.
But then AI, see, this is why you can't trust AI, because AI is like, yes, it appears there is going to be a sequel written by John Carpenter and directed by John Carpenter. See, you can't trust AI, just like your questions.
Exactly. We all have to learn that we cannot rely on AI.
This is how Terminator starts, I'm telling you.
It's awful. I hate it. Fucking hate it. God damn, dude. Load. I'm trying to get some shit loaded here, and it's not load. Load of shit. Oh, there. As soon as I clicked off of it, fucking loaded.
He is deranged this episode, everybody. He is talking like a Quentin Tarantino character.
Whoa, hold on a second here. I didn't know that he was in Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
I,
does he play Elvis?
he plays Elvis in Forrest Gump. He was the voice of
Yeah.
Elvis. He was not the body.
Oh, okay.
He was
See. I
also
always use
he
the
was
body
also
too.
he was also uncredited. He did play Elvis though in a movie in like the 70s, I think, like right after Elvis's death, 1979. Played in a TV movie called Elvis, and then he was in a bunch of other fucking shit. I'm trying to think of like what was it that he was in early on that made it to where he was just like stepping out of his typecast with John Carpenter role.
I think it's
Uh,
just the early Kitty did being on Disney Channel.
Yeah. Oh my God, he was Copper in The Fox and the Hound.
What, really?
Yes.
Maybe that's what you're talking about.
I'm guessing he was old Copper. That's
You don't know.
fucked.
He could have done a kid's voice.
That came out the same year, though.
So maybe he is doing a voice.
That's one of my favorite movies, and I never knew that. It's crazy.
Let's
Let's fucking go. All right.
saying let's fucking go about Fox and the Hound.
Let's fucking go, boys. Which side character, Brain, Maggie, Cabby, the Duke, left the biggest impression, and why?
Dude, it's Romero.
I'm gonna say Maggie.
Dude, it's Romero.
I'm gonna say Maggie. You know why?
Why?
I got two reasons why.
Jesus Christ, Garrett. Bro, Garrett's a wild man.
No, but I believe you. Romero, great, great side character, very impressionable.
It's just so wild that that's even in this movie. Like you don't like they just don't do that as much anymore, where there's like this really strange character that's like, man, that guy's outlandish.
Yeah.
And he's just being weird the whole time. He's like whenever the Brain and Maggie are trying to get into the the room or the train station or whatever, and he's the one guarding the door, and he's just like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you in. Just being weird as fuck.
I think the Duke is a good side character, like a good villain character.
He is.
Um,
He's cool.
I
I
think he's
don't think he's the
alright.
A1 guy that they all say he is, though. I
Yeah,
think he's cool, but
he's definitely not A1 since day one.
A1 since day one, baby.
Um, do you think Snake is actually a hero or just a man forced to do a job?
I think it's more of like an anti-hero guy in a situation type thing.
Yeah, I think he's definitely just a guy who was willing to go to prison, and then they were like, "Hey, man,
Because he
if you
doesn't
just,"
really save anybody.
he doesn't really save anybody. He doesn't really go out of his way to save people. Like you could argue that the lady that gets dragged down by the mole people in the cafe, he tried to save,
He could have. Didn't
but at the
succeed.
but at the end of the day, he was
Who
focused on his
dies at the
mission.
end of the day?
Yeah,
The guy he does save, he like petty attacks him at the end.
yeah, he goes against him wholeheartedly. The
He
one,
he could drown the entire world into war. He's not a good guy.
no, not at all. No, Snake Plissken, I think we can determine is not a good guy.
But he's really cool.
He's really cool. He's not a good guy though. He's no Luke Skywalker. That's true. The movie portrays a future where crime overtakes society and Manhattan becomes a prison. How relevant does that feel today?
It
Two
could happen. It could happen anywhere.
could happen. We've got, I mean, not to get too political, I don't want to be that guy. We've got prisons now that are just out there, though, and people just go to these prisons, never to be seen again. I'm just saying, I think
Wild.
I think we've hit that fucking threshold.
I think we're getting close.
We're
I think
pretty
the Running Man soon.
fuck, dude. I can't wait to see the new Running Man.
So funny. I can't wait. I still want to go see that new Predator movie.
Same.
Into the Badlands.
Predator Into the Badlands and The Running Man both came out this month. Fuck me. I'll never see both of them in
What are
theaters.
we doing here?
I'll never see both of them in theaters. I don't have that kind of luxury. And you know what I'm gonna go fucking see in theaters this month?
What?
Wicked, Wicked Part Two.
That's lame.
Wicked for Good.
Hey, I'm gonna go see all three of those.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
What themes stand out to you the most? Authority, freedom, distrust of government, or survival?
I like the survival and the dystopian fall of capitalism and rise of crime. All that's pretty awesome because Snake's just kind of there. He's never been there before, so he's kind of just taking it all in, looking at the depravity,
Yeah,
confusion, mole
yeah.
people.
I like that. I like that when you look at the dystopian New York, you kind of look at it and you're like, there's no authority here. The criminals are just left to their own devices. They can do whatever they please within the confines of the island. And that has led to a power hierarchy, a vacuum of power that culminated and evolved to become what we see as these different tribes of different criminal characters. The Duke kind of just like takes over as like the head honcho. But there's other factions. There's mole people. There's other shitheads. It's crazy. So in the absence of an authoritarian government or any kind of regulation for that matter, you have this primal desire to create structure, which I don't think was the intention behind John Carpenter's idea here to speak on that matter, but the fact that it's present is incredible.
Yeah, I feel like even if everything broke down, there would be some form of tribalism or the smallest sense of structure. But what I think
Yeah.
is more interesting is what happens after Snake Plissken leaves and he's destroyed all of that structure.
Yeah, he's fucked it all to shit. So they're
Is
gonna
it
have,
they just eat each other for a while before the structure comes back?
whenever there's anarchy, some form of power will rise in its place.
You know, mole people, it might be their turn.
It might be their turn. They might fucking take
That might
over.
be what happens. It
We
might just everybody becomes a mole after that.
we don't know. We don't
Hey,
know.
do you know a group of people I would love to be a part of?
What's up?
I want to be the part of people that are just throwing stuff at cars.
Yeah,
That one street where the cabbie's like, "Oh, you're in this neighborhood? That's a bad neighborhood," and they just start. There's just people lined up on the street throwing bottles and stuff.
it's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing here?
I want to be those guys where they sleep all day and then it's like sun's going down, people are driving, grab
Fuck,
all the trash.
fuck them.
Fuck them, they got cars. Those assholes.
Hilarious.
That just sounds like the best job.
Okay, Do you think the film is cynical or realistic in its worldview? Its worldview being that everything just fucking sucks, and
Uh,
we're all gonna go down this hill where everything just fucking sucks more.
I think it's realistic, but I think it's too. It happened too fast.
Okay.
Because like obviously we're not quite there yet,
Right.
but it could happen still. But
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too over the top. How like how much destruction and nonsense has happened there, and turning an entire like livable city where people were living and still live.
Into a full blown prison.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit crazy. Like obviously it's an outlandish idea, but
Yeah,
the
but I
theme
mean,
is interesting.
yeah, the themes are interesting, but I mean, you have to go out there with a crazy idea like that in order to garner the most attention because it's kind of a satire in a way, where it's like I, I view it as some kind of satire on like prison systems, um, and whatnot. The kind of all the ideas that surround the modern day prisons, and it's like, well, like with satire, you have to take the most out there approach, and you have to be like, how can I make this really just beat people over the fucking head with this idea and then show them something crazy? You're like, what if I take the most populated city in the United States of America and I turn it into a fucking prison? That's some Animal Farm shit right there.
All right, enough thing over. Uh, yeah, I like when sci-fi movies do stuff like that because they're like, here's this outlandish idea, but we're actually going to be talking about like a really interesting political or economic or whatever debate
Yeah,
where it's we're like Twilight Zone did that a lot. Like it's more of a disguise.
Yeah, it's more of a it's to get your attention and make you think about what it is that we're talking about here. Even though
Which
I'll
I
say
love.
this, I don't think the movie's that deep.
No, but it has themes.
It
It
has
has ideas.
themes, but it's not Twilight Zone level. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Which
Um,
is just as a comparison for sci-fi to do similar things and
right,
horror, whatnot.
right. We briefly touched on this earlier. What do you think of Carpenter's signature synth score for the film? What do you think of his
Oh,
music?
I fucking anytime there's a synth, I'm in.
It's good. I like the fact that John Carpenter does his own music. Um, I've listened to a few of his solo albums. They're pretty good. His instrumental work is really nice. Obviously, I don't think you'll ever be able to top his Halloween theme.
And it's so funny how simple it is compared to
Compared
just
to
like other.
this, yeah. Um, how do the film's practical effects and gritty production design hold up today?
Uh, you know me. I love a good practical stuff. Like they're actually somewhere.
Yeah,
They're
I
not they're not on a backdrop. They're not. Some scenes might be on a set or whatever, but they're actually in a physical environment.
right. I really enjoy. I think the effect that I like the most is whenever he sticks that nailed spiked bat into that back of that guy's head. I
It's pretty
was
sick.
I was a sucker for effects that kind of just like work. Like it really looks like he just slammed it in the back of that guy's head, even though I'm sure there's a cut somewhere in there that kind of like
Something.
yeah, something that solidifies the effect.
And then we got some really great squibs whenever the Duke gets shot up by Donald Pleasance.
Oh yeah, yeah, gotta love me some
We
good
love a good squib.
squibs.
We love a good squib.
Not doesn't match. I still don't think it matches up to Total Recall squibs. I feel like
Nothing
Total
ever.
Recall squibs are the best squibs, but I love to see a good squib.
Yeah. And Django Unchained has the most ridiculous squibs.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Django Unchained squibs. That's
It's
some good shit.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Did
They're
any
they're just holding up to the brim.
they literally just fucking explode right onto the camera. Did any specific shots or moments visually stand out for you?
Uh, it's whenever Kurt Russell's walking around New York for the first time, and it just looks so deserted, and just like some of the shots where he's like shadowy or like well lit, and just like looking up and around every corner and over his shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm kind of in that same ball field where I'm just kind of like I like the atmospheric shots. You know,
Hmm.
the ones where there's not really a whole lot happening, and we kind of for some reason my mind keeps going back to the train yard scene.
But you
It's
said
just
that's where you thought it was boring.
yeah. Well, for some reason it's whenever they're running up to the train car where the president is held. Oh, and my mind keeps going back to the bridge scene where they're on their way out, and they're on the bridge and they're like going back and forth, escaping the mines. Something about something about how like we're finally just going somewhere. It feels like you know we've been scrambling the whole movie, and then we finally get on the bridge, and all the bridge scenes. I think are just so they culminate the dystopian, shattered elements of the rest of the island in that so well with like the breakneck action pace you want to see and just put that all into these shots on the bridge. I really appreciate that.
It's real fun,
Yeah. How
real
do you
fast.
how do you think Escape from New York influenced later action or dystopian films? Kind of touched on this one briefly, but what do you think?
I think you can just kind of see it with the quibs, the one-liners, and other action heroes. And then I don't
The
know if this really inspired as many more dystopian stuff, but you could you could kind of see the weirdness, the weird John Carpenter stuff get ripped off a lot. So I'm sure it inspired something.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I think what this movie would go on to influence is the idea of the anti-hero being
Hmm.
your hero, being your main character. Like, I think too often you have characters that are like, okay, I'm going to use Mad Max for example. Mad Max is kind of an anti-hero, but he's not really because we know his backstory is really tragic, right?
And he's always saving people, or at
He's
least trying.
he's always going out of his way to save people. He meets people on his way, on his journeys. He saves them,
He's more of
clears
like a
other
samurai type character.
exactly. Same with Yojimbo. That's another character that goes out of his way to save people. He's just a straight up hero, even though he does what he does for money. Um, but
Snake's just doing it so he can get some more sig.
Snake is just doing it to save his own skin. He's really in a position where he can only help to save himself. And that would go on to be this big deal with other characters and so on and so forth. I just think that it really makes sense that this character would go on to become the archetype for future characters. For some reason, Marion Cobretti from Cobra comes to mind again. I don't fucking know why.
You just love Cobra.
I love Cobra. I was talking
I
with a
just
bunch of.
love cuts pizza with scissors in that movie.
I was talking to some. I have to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I used to. I would. Me and coworkers at work, we're always just like. There's just one specific coworker at work who fucking hates Cobra. So every chance we get, we're like, damn, dude, it's a good ass movie. He'll be like, what? Cobra,
Oh,
man. I fucking love Cobra. And
that's so funny.
I'll be like, fuck you guys, man.
It's such
Fucking
a good
bullshit.
premise.
Love that shit. Love doing that shit to
It's
them.
such a good premise that's just a bad movie.
It is what it is. You gotta love it for what it is. Have fun with
Mm-hmm.
it.
It's
Uh,
a Stallone picture. Come on, what do you want?
let's see here. How does this film? Oh well, fuck me. I guess we can't answer that. It's about
You're
L.A.
so funny.
Let's see here. Here's some fun hypothetical questions. If you could redesign the Manhattan prison today, what would it look like? Would you have it be the free roam prison it is, or would there be
It would just
something more sci-fi?
I think I would just make it around Louisiana instead. Keep all those guys in there.
Keep all the gators just kind of like in the water.
No, the Gators can free roam.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but like everybody's kind of like stuck in New Orleans or Baton Rouge or something, and they're just like, "Fuck, dude, we can't get out because of all the gators and mines."
That's funny.
And let's see here. Who, for me personally, I don't think I would. I kind of like the idea of just creating a prison where everything just fucking sucks nonstop year round, and it's really more about how you make of the situation more than
It's
anything.
just back to basics.
I think the only thing I would change, and this is gonna sound fucking psychotic, but the only thing I would change is I would put a huge ass watchtower right in the center of Manhattan.
Big Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, where it just watches your every move, and it'll create this psychological need to either not do evil shit or try to do as
You
much
put a
evil
god in
shit.
this guy.
Exactly. I forget what it's called. This is a real life prison uh, philosophy experiment where the prison is open. There's rooms, but there's no cage doors or anything like that, and it's really just this experiment of where you leave all the doors open, but right in the center of the room is this watchtower where everybody knows you're watching, So is the fact that everybody knows you're watching going to change the outcome of what's happening? Because the idea is that in this universe, in this movie, you're not being watched constantly. I mean, people might fly over, people might have you on computer monitors, but nobody's really watching you directly.
And
Um,
it's just kill or be killed somehow.
yeah,
And
trying to
it's all
remember.
downbreaking society.
Okay, it's called Panopticon.
Eagle Eye.
Yeah, Panopticon. Panopticon is a design of institutional building with an inbuilt system of control, originated by the English philosopher and social theorist, excuse me, sorry, Jeremy
Irons.
Bentham. Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Bentham in the 18th century. The concept is to allow all prisoners of an institution to be observed by a single prison officer without the inmates knowing whether or not they are being watched. Although it is physically impossible for the single guard to observe all the inmates' cells at once, the fact that the inmates cannot know when they are being watched motivates them to act as though they are being watched at all times. They are effectively compelled to self regulation. The architecture consists of a rotunda with an inspection house at its center. From the center, the manager or staff are able to watch the inmates. Bentham conceived the basic plan as being equally applicable to hospitals, schools, sanitariums, and asylums. He devoted most of his efforts to developing a design for a panopticon prison. So the term now usually refers to that. So that's kind of what came to mind whenever I thought of that question. It was just the panopticon concept. Um, who would you cast in a modern remake to kind of bring it back to more cinematic questions? If you had to pick, I mean, are you going to pick anybody else but Kurt Russell's son?
I mean, that's actually not who I was thinking, but that would be the play.
That's the play, am I right?
That's the play. Put Channing Tatum in it.
With Channing Tatum, Wyatt Russell. That's what
Yes, Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell plays Snake Plissken, dude. I can't think of it. I can't think of a better casting than that. And I know that's cheating because that's his son, but I'm just like, damn, dude, that's crazy. And look at this. This is a fun fact. Wyatt Russell, his sons were born in the same years as my daughters, 2021 and 2024.
It's just meant to be.
It's meant to be.
You guys should be best friends.
I love him already.
I
He was a goaltender for the 2022 NHL All Stars game breakaway challenge. It's crazy. I love this guy. I love this cat.
love it. He's
All right.
killing it.
Who is the other person you were thinking of?
I was gonna say Channing Tatum,
Oh, you were gonna say Channing Tatum as Snake Plissken.
or I was gonna say Glenn Powell just because he's in everything right now.
Glenn Powell could be the move, but he's also the running man. Is it unfair to give him Snake Plissken too? He was
Well,
in
we'll see what
Top
he's doing
Gun.
in the next few years.
It's gotta be though. It's gotta be.
It
Glenn
doesn't.
Powell's such a good pick though, just because
He's
he's so
right.
in right now.
He's in fad. He's in
He's
vogue.
he's in vogue. Um, would you trust Snake Plissken to rescue you? Why or why not? You know,
Yeah, no,
he doesn't give a shit.
no.
If Snake
If he
Plissken,
does, he's not coming back in one piece.
if Snake Plissken's life was on the line, and he had to save you, do you not have faith that Snake Plissken would save you?
I mean, he probably would, but I'd be missing a finger. I would have had to shoot somebody.
True, true.
Everybody else that was along for the journey would be dead.
It would be a half-assed venture. We'll just say that for sure. We'll just
It
say
would not
that.
go well.
It would not go well for anybody. Anyway, um, final thoughts on Escape from New York, if you have any, or other thoughts in general.
I love it. I love it a lot. I was really happy to watch this movie and be pleasantly surprised. My last little thing that I want to say is I also think it's really funny whenever the president's plane is going down and they're like, "Get to the pod."
Get to the
It's
pod.
They're just an escape pod on Air Force One, and then all those other people don't have one, so they just crashed.
It's kind of funny if you think about it. I wonder if
The
that. I
second
wonder
time
if
I
that would
watched
be
it,
a
I
genuine. I wonder if that would be a genuine thing that Air Force One would implement in its future. Like, oh shit, the plane's going down. Save the president. Put him on the pod.
put them in the pod. I'm sure there's something like that.
There's got to be protocol that we don't know, that we don't fucking know that they know.
There's probably a smaller glider plane.
The president just
There's
goes
just
down in a little
teleporters
propeller.
to the White House.
That's lovely. Oh, that's lovely. My final thoughts are probably that I enjoy the movie. I would not say it's one of my favorites. It's especially not one of my favorite John Carpenter movies. It does not come close to some of his best, like Halloween or The Thing or Vampires. Um, I'm just kidding about that last one, but no, seriously,
Smart.
it's fine enough. It gets the job done. I do think it does not measure up to other contemporary action movies at the time. I think your time is better spent watching something like Raiders, Mad Max, Road Warrior, um, anything like that. I think your time is better spent on. But Escape from New York has its place in history, it's cinematic history, action movie history, and I'm glad that we were able to cover it tonight.
Love it, love it, love it. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. 2 episodes left. You're the best. You're the best. Can't wait to see you guys then. That's going to be it from us. Make sure to tune in next time on Action Jack-Offs where we cover some other bullshit. Peace.